Well, welcome back. This is the second of 9 videos looking at how to plan a traditional project management project. And during this particular video, we're going to look at the joint project planning session and how to conduct that session. All right, so these are kind of the components. We'll talk a little bit about who the attendees are, facilities, equipment, the agenda for the meeting, deliverables, and then that project proposal, which comes at the very, very end. Here are the attendees. I think most of these are the normal suspects. So you've got a facilitator, a project manager, perhaps a second project manager, maybe a consultant that comes in and helps you. That technographer is someone who bridges the business world with the technology world. Your core project team that you have at this particular point, your client representative, then resource managers, your project champion. You may have some functional managers in there and a process owner. So again, the normal suspects that would be involved with planning. Do note the client is involved at this stage. It's not a fire and forget type of thing. They have to be involved with planning it out. The facilities and equipment are you can kind of figure that out, and the normal stuff associated. I would tell you that sometimes it makes sense to do these in an offsite location, just so that you're not interrupted, and that that offsite allows for less distractions. And you have to build some rules in terms of use of cell phones, doing email during the meeting, so on and so forth. You want people focused on the task at hand so that subsequent tasks run smoothly. Here's the complete agenda. So in session 1, you're going back and you're building that conditions of satisfaction. From that, after that's negotiated, you build the requirements breakdown structure. You write the project overview statement during session 2. And then in the final session, which is what we're going to spend today talking about, or this particular video talking about, you're going in and you're doing a working session where you're building a project proposal. You're doing a work breakdown structure, and you're looking at the network diagram and how many tasks you have and how do you structure those tasks. All right, so here's who's involved, and as you see, it kind of grows. You start off with just the project manager and the client doing that conditions of satisfaction. You then move into having the project team, those that are members that are known at that point, join. And then finally, when you get down to this point, you've got the entire project management team and the project manager as you're working through that work breakdown structure and working through building a project proposal and looking at the network diagram. Here's what that session 3, that planning kickoff meeting looks like. You have an introduction of the sponsor. The sponsor then provides an overview of the importance of the project and its importance. Do an introduction of the client and the IT project managers, introduce the core team, and then introduce the kind of facilitating team that you may have attending. From there, you get into an agenda that looks something like this. You want to validate and prioritize the requirements that have been developed thus far. Provide an overview of which project planning approach is going to be used. Generate and validate the work breakdown structure. So you're going to take that requirements breakdown structure, add to it, generate a work breakdown structure. Start doing your estimations of duration, labor, and other resources that are going to be required for this project to be successful. From that, create a dependency diagram. Talk about the critical path and project completion date. Make sure that is going to meet the needs of the customer and client. If not, you're going to have to go back and do some schedule compression or add additional resources. Identify some risks and then your mitigation plans for those risks. And then finally, once everybody has a consensus on what the project plan contents will be, you're at the end of the meeting and you can move forward. Here's another way of looking at it. Again, that kind of review of the project overview statement for clarity. Create that breakdown structure. Start looking at your requirement needs. Conduct that or construct that project network diagram. Determine the critical path. Then revise or approve the project schedule if that meets the client's needs. If not, you're going to have to use some other techniques that we'll talk about during this chapter. Finalize the resource schedule, then gain consensus on the plan. Very good. note, and this will be the last slide in this video, but note that the client must be present, must be involved, okay? Their principal role is that validation of requirements and the project overview statement. You have to break down those requirements into things that are absolutely must have as opposed to could have, as opposed to wants, all right? From those requirements, you can then generate and validate the work breakdown structure, get a commitment on resources from the client, and then work forward through the project plan. There is some give and take here, and it can't be done remotely. It'll slow everything down. So again, you want the client involved in the joint project planning session. Well, guess what? This brings us to the end of this second of 9 videos looking at how to plan a traditional project management project. And during this particular video, we focused on the joint project planning session. So keep on studying, keep on learning, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.